Hey everybody, Hake Hardware here, and this is episode 5 of Dusty Fans. In this one, we have a GTX 760, and actually, the last one was a 770. So, very similar EVGA cards. This one is just the SC. This one was the dual SC, so it actually had, I guess, like a BIOS, like a dual BIOS that you could switch between. But we saw another really good improvement with this one. So we're continuing our streak of actually lowering the temperatures. This one was pretty significant. So we are back on the GeForce 700 series cards. This one was the GK104 processor, only 2 gigabytes of GDDR5. So unfortunately, this one did not really get enough frames per second. We were only in the 30s. So we started out with 81, which is, I mean, that's not horrible, but going down to 76 for the average temperature was pretty good. So 5 degrees drop. And then we had a small performance increase, nothing spectacular. That's what we're noticing with these cards is we're getting good temperature drops, but the performance doesn't necessarily change too much. And it's because 81 really isn't that crazy. It's probably not going to get throttled, like a thermal throttle at all, typically. So the temperature difference is really just means it's going to run more efficiently. And if you're gaming for a long period of time, it's probably going to stay good temperature. So pretty cool before and after. This one actually looked really good before the cleaning on the outside, but you'll see in the cleaning video it actually looked really, really bad. The blog, again, with the blog, we usually go a little bit more in depth into like the stress tests and talk about some like the clock stability and do a little bit more of a deep dive. You can review that if you want to. And then media, we've got tons of photos this time during, and I finally remembered to take after photos of when everything's all cleaned up, so you can see how great that GPU processor looks. The fan shroud got super clean, especially if you look at the before, it was pretty bad. So this was a fun one to clean up. The fan blades were gross, and the thermal paste, you can see it looked terrible. So that's the stress tests. It was pretty much good all around. It's minor max GPU clock speed, but if you look at the average, we actually were up 3, so the max didn't really matter. And just a little bit more power draw. Probably nothing really noteworthy there. Fan speed was down and the temperatures were down, so that's like a double win there. And of course, because 81 wasn't really that bad to begin with, we didn't really have thermal throttle events, which is probably why the frames per second didn't change much. We can see before and after, everything stayed cooler the entire time. And power draw, pretty stable there. Fan speed, again, pretty stable. And GPU load was 100% the whole time. Cleaning details, it didn't look like it had been cleaned before. Gaming, for sure. I gave it a poor rating. There's actually ones much worse than that. So like abusive, I think is like one of the previous owner care. So poor isn't as bad as maybe it seems. And there was, I don't know if it was smoke or like vape or something. There was definitely a smell to it. So I gave it a light residue. And my hands, like when I cleaned the dust off the fan blades, it was like sticky and like gunky. It was pretty gross. A few strands of hair. There was a little bit of corrosion on the heatsink, but nothing like concerning. In fact, it could even have looked like that from the factory. Who knows? One thermal paste, just one thermal pad, which it's weird. It came off in 2 pieces. When I put it back on, I just did one because it was like it fit all in the same area. 35 minutes to clean wasn't too bad. Normal amount of isopropyl alcohol. Lots of wipes used because it was just so dirty. And I gave it a 4 out of 10. Still not too bad. And unfortunately, we may eventually do giveaways on the 760s because these are like great for Linux. And just because you're not gaming with it or can't game doesn't mean it can't be used in a system. So we might do giveaways on these yet. I can't even. I reached out to PCMR, so PC Master Race, on Reddit to see if maybe I could coordinate some giveaways with them. I'm just kind of struggling on finding a good way to give these cards away where it's kind of like fair and like a well-known process, and make sure I'm just doing the right thing. Leaderboards. Number 1 for hottest before cleaning and still hot after cleaning, relatively speaking. Biggest temp drop. There's actually another one at 5 degrees, so it's kind of tied. 3 for power draw, not super high. Some of these I have yet to find any with critters in them. It's number 1 for the grossest GPU, which I would agree with that. But feel free to look through these. We also have just like the general leaderboards where you can see like the hottest before cleaning. These are actually starting to get populated now that we have 5 episodes that were 5 cleanings. I'm working on the 5th episode, so you can kind of see where everything starts to fit together. Only 3 cards have had a temperature drop, which is why there's only 3 on the temperature drop. And statistics, so not a lot of views. We're still growing. It's episode 5. There's like 50 more cards behind me that need to be cleaned, so there's going to be a ton of episodes. Hopefully we can grow the channel. There's a lot more to it, even if you're not a gamer. It's kind of fun to just watch a GPU get cleaned. So speaking of that, let's jump over to the video and we'll get that playing. It's a 10-minute video this time. I'm keeping the cuts pretty quick. It honestly looked immaculate from the outside. I was like, this is going to be boring. There's nothing there. The audio and the quality video quality should be better than before. So I'm using iPhone 14 as the top-down camera with 4K 60 frames per second. Granted, this video is going to be 1080p because I'm watching it through OBS while I'm talking, and it's just doing 1080p. But when I do the like sped up cleaning and when I do the full cleaning videos, those will be in 4K and it'll have like decent audio. So this one was a little bit weird. You take off the heatsink, and then there's these like little screws that go into the plastic from the opposite end, so you have to take off the heatsink to get the fan shroud off. That thing was disgusting. Fan shroud and the fans were disgusting. Those connectors are the worst. They scare me every time. So just pulling everything apart. I always start out with just getting it torn down as far as I can go. These screws, I'm always a little bit worried trying to get them out. You have to put a lot of pressure on them, and usually I support it from the bottom just so I don't like break a plastic tab. But these older GPUs, there's just so many things that can go wrong when you're cleaning them. You have to be extra careful. Fans were relatively easy. Sometimes they have these really complicated routings with the dual fans or the triple fans. There are 2 little screws that kind of like held in the cable routing, and then there's just a little connector there that I unplugged to get the fans out, and that was that. Disgusting. Disgusting. This was kind of weird. There is like a metal bracket. Maybe it's just structural, or maybe it helps with heat dissipation, but there was no thermal pads on it. And it didn't really cover anything that looked too important. There's just like maybe for like the 770s or 780s, they use the same PCB, they just add more stuff there. And that bracket is just kind of like there to cover it. Even those 2 little chips there aren't really covered by the bracket, so it must be just like a structural thing, or maybe it helps dissipate the heat up into the heatsink. The paste was absolutely dry rotted. There's nothing left of it. Little sweeping. Scrape that off. This was the weirdest thing. It wasn't even like a plate that it was on. It was just on the like fins. I'm not really sure. I'm sure it works, but like those little fins work a little sketchy for a thermal pad to be put on, but it is what it is. I put initially a too thick of a thermal pad on, and I actually had to tear it down real quick and put a a 0.5 millimeter smaller pad on because it was kind of like bowing the structure. So it's always hard to get it. Like the size was right in between the two sizes of thermal pads that I have. Oh, so much junk came off that heatsink. Everybody's favorite part. We get to wash everything with soapy water. I used to spend so much time trying to like use a little brush to get the dust off, and now I just throw it in soapy water. I try to get some off. Like I usually have this little hand vacuum thing that I will sometimes use to get like larger dust pieces off, but really the soapy water does most of the work. And I don't ever show it, but I rinse these off with just regular water. And then I have like a little hand blow, like the blow tools that you can use to like blow out keyboards and stuff. It's not compressed air, it's just like a little electric motor that produces like a bunch of air. I dry everything off with that. And then of course the PCB, I do one extra step where I rinse it with isopropyl alcohol, which I do show. But then again, I let the GPU dry for at least 3 hours. I like to do 24 hours, but I don't always do that depending on the type of card. This one I think I did like 5 or 6 hours. Sometimes I like this smaller brush. It gets into the crevices a little bit better sometimes, and the bristles are softer on the big one, so I prefer to use that, but the other one's good for like thermal pad residue and stuff. It can really get that off. And then I forgot to do the back of the PCB, but I actually do it when I bring it over to rinse it off with water. I cleaned the back of it. So I just started adding this, soapy water will be rinsed off, and then we'll do isopropyl alcohol. A little bit of artifacts there. I'm not sure if it was visible on in the video, but it looks like we're back in business. Yeah, I always make sure I dump it in the ports because I think of all the places where water could stay, it's in like those power ports, and it's in where like you plug in the HDMI and DVI cables. So I always try and make sure I get tons, and that's what I'm doing when I'm moving it back and forth, is I'm trying to get it to like splash inside those ports. And I raise it off the tub just a little bit so it's not like scraping the bottom of the PCB on the bottom of the, or on the inside of the tub there. These fans were so bad. I went through so many, and you can see just like the gunk on them. It's horrible. I feel like the power draw should have gone down just because of the less weight it has to spin. I actually went over them all once more just because there was some like residue. Those are so gross. Yeah, I literally like washed my hands like 4 times after this. I am gonna start signing the heat sinks because I think it's kind of cool. I'll just put like Dusty Fans in the episode that it was in. I think it's kind of cool. I didn't put it on the actual part where it makes contact with the GPU processor there, so it's just off to the side. That's what I'll try and do. I don't really want to do it over where the heatsink makes contact with the processor. I don't think it would actually matter, but it just seems weird to do it. Yeah, this little plate, not really too sure. They had like a million screws holding it in. It must be structural. Or I guess like it might dissipate a little heat from those chips, but again, those chips are only like half covered. The new Thermalright THX paste, which is a pain to spread because it sticks to the little spreader so much. These fans were relatively easy to put in. I just really like the EVGA styling. It's so simple and clean. I do like some of the like extravagant styling that some of the companies do, but EVGA is just, it's so clean. These cards would be perfect for like a small form factor PC where the GPU is vertical. And then these are the horrible screws. Actually, I had to use a different screwdriver because it's just really hard with the other one that I have. And then, like I said, that pad, I don't show it in the camera, but I do replace it with a thinner one because it was too thick and it was kind of like bending the card heatsink a little bit. I don't think it did any sort of permanent damage, but it's always hard to get the perfect. I kind of like was looking at it there, but like something doesn't look right. So thermal pad thickness is always a pain if you're doing any of these cards. I thought about I might in the future start documenting them, but I don't know. It adds a lot to a process that's already pretty long. This was a WTF moment. There's a little nut that was on the inside of there that I had. I don't know if that was like from the factory or what, but yeah, that little nut I had to hold with the needle nose pliers while I screwed in the screw to hold the bracket in. Weird stuff. Anyways, overall, like a super successful, super easy card, cleaned up really well. May or may not change the giveaway criteria and give that one away. We'll see. But thanks for watching episode 5. Episode 6, we're going to depart. Actually, no, there's going to be one more EVGA card. I kind of wanted to do like 3 EVGAs in a row. I think this is also 7 or 900 series, but it's going to be cool. It's a blower style one. I haven't done a blower style yet for an episode, so it'll be cool. But then after that, we're going to do like some vastly different ones. So it won't always be EVGA, but I have the most EVGA cards, so there will be a lot of them. I've also picked up a few like 1000 series and above cards, so in the future, after we get through a few more, I have some like 400 series cards too that we're going to do. There's just so many different cards. It's really cool. I'm excited to get through them. I don't know the order that I'm going to do, but stay tuned. Make sure you're subscribed and you'll get a notification. Thanks for watching this episode of Dusty Fans. As always, if you have an old, nasty, dirty GPU sitting in a closet somewhere collecting dust that you'd like to donate to the channel and have it featured in an episode of Dusty Fans, please reach out to the email in the description. It's going to be dirtygpu@hakedev.com. Any GPU that gets donated to the channel, which scores higher than 60 frames per second on our 1080p benchmark and doesn't have any obvious signs of failure, gets donated back out to the community. So if you have something that you'd like to see featured on the channel, please reach out. And thanks for watching this episode of Dusty Fans, and I'll see you in the next one.